We're live.
I think that worked.
With
I kind of
no
forgot.
folderol.
No, because I was listening to Carrie talk, and then I saw a thing. It was like, it's showtime, and I was like, oh, is it? Ooh. I don't even know how I know if people are watching, but oh wait, there's eyes in the corner. Okay,
It'll have a number next to the clock ticker.
cool. This is my first time I've ever done this, so.
Oh wow.
Yeah, y'all are like with me losing my virginity here.
Great way to spend your 30th birthday.
I thought it was. It's fun. I don't know. I just wanted to hang out with some people and
Absolutely.
Yeah, like all my friends pretty much exist not near me at this point. Hi, do you mind? Dogs.
The tail end. There's the tail end.
Aw, hi, Mom. Oh, that worked. Okay. Oh, I can highlight these, right?
Yeah.
Yay! It's so much fun. I'm so new.
It is fun. You chose a color. I see you chose the blue, and you got like the bubble effect.
Oh, that was default. I didn't choose any of that. I didn't know you could choose that.
Really? Because when I was in the little waiting room, it was black and it was square. So I figured since it was different when I came in, it was like your choice. No? Okay.
No, that's just what it did. I didn't even know I could do that. I see there are options for like brand and banner. I don't know. I haven't played that much with it. I was like, we'll just wing it. That's like most of my life, to be honest.
Margaret knows all the tricks for StreamYard.
Yes. Kitty and I are going to set up at a time in August to sort of like play around and get practice and stuff.
Yeah, because I was like, I have an account, and it was like pretty intuitive as far as connecting it to YouTube goes. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I could have like planned stuff for this. I don't know. I just want to chat with people. So.
Well, I have a question for you, Katie.
Okay.
It's nothing too hard. So you're turning 30. Is there anything you're looking forward to in your 30s, or any like things you want to do in your 30s, or I don't know, it could be booktube related, it could be just life related?
Travel. I have yet to travel outside of the country unless you count Canada, and I really don't. Like, I'm from Michigan. It was actually faster for me to get to Canada than literally any other state. So I don't count that. But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go see some stuff. I'll probably start small with like Puerto Rico or something, right? And then like extend from there. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I planned to go to Europe in 2020. I had like everything paid for, and then obviously that didn't happen. And so we rebooked for 2021, but 2021 summer was awful as well. So we canceled again. And I was like, forget it. I'm just give me my money back. I'll figure it out. Oh, hi, Kim.
Can you guys see me?
No.
It's so weird. It says my camera's on, but I don't see myself. Anyway, hello.
Hello.
We're just talking about. Oh, she's gone.
Maybe she's trying a new camera thing.
Maybe. There we go.
Thinking. No.
Hold on. I'm going to come jump back in. My computer's doing something weird. Give me a sec.
Okay. Second. That's it. But yeah, I don't. So if anybody has like recommendations for places I should go, let me know. I'm pretty much down for whatever. I feel like I should start with places that are mainly English speaking, though.
What did you have on your list for your trip?
I was just going to like the UK, basically. I had plans to. I'm like a big Tudor person, and I was gonna stay at Hever Castle, and then I was gonna just like drive through Scotland and stuff. But that was pretty much it. I am learning Spanish currently, so I would like to go tour some Spanish-speaking countries.
Okay, it's so cliched. When I was learning Spanish, I went to Mexico, not like for like a language exchange or anything, although I think that would be amazing. Hi, Kim.
She's
Hi.
there.
But just to like go on vacation, and it was so fun because it meant I ate so many street tacos because it was a chance to go up and like practice ordering things. And it was just like the most like fun, but also like $10 for a full day of food walking tour type thing.
Yeah.
That
Without
sounds
any organization.
glorious.
So that's one that's at least I found very motivating.
Yeah, no, I could honestly eat tacos like every day for the rest of my life. But you can do so much with a taco.
Exactly.
So that's it might be my favorite food, maybe.
When we were kids, my mom would, you get to have whatever you wanted for your birthday meal, and mine was tacos. Like, no one even asked. They were like, tacos? Tacos. So.
That's what I do if people are coming over. I always just do tacos because that's something that it does. If you're like vegetarian, you can make that work. If you're a picky eater, you can make that work. Like you just make your own.
Mm.
Yes.
That's a good approach.
Totally
I remember as a
agree.
kid, I had the same thing, and I would always choose shish kebabs, like teriyaki, shish.
Ooh.
I have never had a shish kebab. Like I barely even know what they are.
You can do whatever you want. You just stick it on a stick.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
you
like
could
associating them with like backyard parties and like grilling.
I mean, you could have like you could come to my house anytime. We'll make you Persian kebab. Just like that's like my mom was just here for a couple of days, and one night we had Persian food, and it was kebabs and rice, and like that was like the thing. I grew up with that, so to me, I'm like, that's comfort food. Like instead of meat and potatoes, it's kebabs and rice.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. That actually sounds really. I've never actually had Persian food. Like the spice palette is totally foreign to me. So I think that'd be really interesting. I'm just like afraid to go out and pay for it at like a restaurant that may or may not be good.
I think I have a recommendation for you, but I need to check with my parents because they know the places that they go to. But there's a kebab place that I think is Persian owned that I went to and I really liked.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because it'd be local to me.
Yes.
Convenient.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that'd be cool. So yeah, I know, Kim, I have plans to come up to like upstate New York, and I'll see Brittany in Poughkeepsie, and I'll come to Buffalo and see you. And
every time I'm in Canada, I'm like, Rosie, am I close? And I'm never close. Like I'm so. She's like, Kim. I feel like Kim. She's like, she's just like, Kim, I know you're trying, but you're abysmal.
No, you're not actually usually that far. No, relatively speaking.
Yeah, when I was in Toronto, oh my gosh, the book bully. Why can I not remember her real name? She was really mad at me that I didn't tell her I was in Toronto. She was like, I live like 20 minutes away. And I was like, I'm sorry. Jill, that's her real name.
There you go. I was like, no, I know her name. I know it.
I do that on lives all the time. It's like being on the spot that makes you forget, and you're just like, bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Indigo for the first time because we don't have them in the States. And I was like, I'm sorry, Jill, I should have gone to like an indie bookstore, but I really wanted to see what the hype was about Indigo.
I get that.
They're far superior than Barnes and Nobles because they have like foodie, like at least the one I was in, the whole first floor was like William and Sonoma and foodie stuff, and I was like, this is
tailor-made.
Awesome. That's so funny. No, I think people forget how big Canada is, though. Like, I met this woman yesterday. She's Canadian, and I told her I was from Michigan, and she goes, "Okay, where exactly is Michigan then?" And I was like Ontario, and she goes, "Oh, okay, I know where that is." And she was just so happy because usually people can't do that for her. Yeah. It was.
So is everyone else in the group here already 30 or older?
Oh no, Rosie is younger than me, which I never I don't know, Rosie, like you don't look old, but you have this like very mature like bearing.
An old soul.
Okay, so I'm turning 28 this fall. So I'm not exactly young, and like I haven't been carded in Canada for like probably 5 or 6 years now. And at this point, I've just sort of accepted, like, okay, I just look like, old enough to not be carded. So we were at the store the other day getting wine, and my partner had driven. So I hadn't brought my wallet, because I was like, oh, well, I'm not driving, so I don't. And she almost wouldn't sell it to us because she was like, I don't know that you're an adult.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
But also, like, as a teenager, people used to think I was a substitute teacher. So I think I just have a very, like,
What an odd,
really
like,
bizarre face.
what an odd spectrum. Like, you're too young, or you're specifically a substitute teacher. Oh,
Yeah.
the grocery stores around here, the chain called Wegmans, always cards, and I have gotten Dan in so much trouble where I have like walked out of the store, or I'll go back into an aisle and hide somewhere, and I am 32, and I'm like, just sell. I don't even drink either. Like, I do not consume alcohol. I want like a tattoo that's like, thou does not consume, thou will be ill, and they still won't sell it. I'm like, I don't like, and not in a AA, like I could show them my token. It doesn't work with my medicine, so they don't trust that. And I'm like, I don't know what you. But meanwhile, the 7-Eleven down the street, I think it's like family owned, so they just recognize us. I'm like, hello. I don't even like bother. They're like, hi, nice to see you.
That's funny. Yeah, no, yesterday someone asked me if Abby and I were twins. She's 22. And then a few weeks ago, or like a couple of months ago, someone asked me if I was her mom. And I was like,
What?
I get
Wow.
stuff like that all the time because I work at a high school, so the students have like no concept of age at all. So I get both ends of the spectrum, where sometimes they think I'm really young, and then sometimes they're like, oh, well, you've got to be 40, right? And I'm like, not yet. Get closer, but not yet.
hi, Sharon. Thank you. Sharon I used to work with her. Actually, my very first job was at a library, and she and I started at roughly the same time. And now she actually worked with my mom at the same library for years. So my little sister's always confused. She's like, I always think of Sharon as like mom's friend, but I forget that you actually knew her first. Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, yeah. I was 14 when I started that job.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a pretty cool first job, though.
Yeah.
I always wanted to work at a library, but I never did.
That was my first legal job, like on the book.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had babysitting and stuff, but like my actual, like on the, like not just helping people out with stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, my first job was at a restaurant. They definitely just had me writing my hours in like a composition notebook. But me and both my big sister and my younger sister, we all worked at the same public library. We never overlapped with each other because of our ages, but that was like the best high school job to ever have, because when you put in your schedule and you're like, well, I have a band concert, like they couldn't say anything because you were a student before anything else. It was really fun.
Yeah. No, I loved working at the library. It was like so easy. Oh,
Puppy.
They'll probably be popping in and out. I have the doggy door in and stuff because it's so nice outside.
Yeah.
You might be able to hear she's trying to bark at the neighbor dog, but she has her ball in her mouth, so she's just squeaking.
Oh. I worked at the library at my university, and then I also worked at the music library at my university. So I got to like funnel records and music scores and CDs back when those were.
Don't you work at a library right now?
Yes, I'm a high school librarian. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But my first job was as a dishwasher. It was not fun.
No.
Not fun.
No.
I didn't even have the machine. I had like 3 deep sinks because my husband, his first job was as a dishwasher, but he worked at like a big chain. So like they had a machine to do what I was doing by hand. Yeah. So.
Oh, that would not be. I don't even like to do my dishes like here.
Yeah.
When it's like for just one, maybe two people. Like I don't even like that. So I'm always like, oh, I cook clean.
I used to say that we didn't need a dishwasher and that like we're only two people, like we don't cook that much, like this is not a big deal. And then you get a dishwasher and then it's like, oh my god, I can never give this up. This is like everywhere I live now must have this.
It's so convenient. Like today I had the walkthrough with the realtor like virtually, and I just like stuffed all the dishes from like this morning in the dishwasher. Like I just like threw them in there, and then I came back and organized them later. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. Because I'm definitely not going to stick dirty dishes in a cupboard to hide them or something. So
I moved into my place in Portland, and it had a dishwasher, and I took it out to make more shelves. So I'm living on my own, so I just hand wash dishes. And it's much better because otherwise it'll sit, and then yeah.
No, that's fair. It's hard when you're by yourself, especially if you only have like dishes for one.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. No, I did that. When I was living in the dorm rooms on the Air Force base, I had like a walk-in closet because it was a common area with a kitchen and a living room and stuff, and then 4 bedrooms with our own bathrooms, and we each had a walk-in closet. And everybody who came in would just die laughing because instead of having like shoes and stuff on my shelves and clothes, which is what's supposed to go there, I just had books.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, well, I don't need that many shoes. Like I wear the exact same thing to work every single day.
Right.
So I just filled it with books, and that's kind of the start of this chaos. I mean, I always had books as a kid, but they were library books because we were library people. And then I don't know, I started collecting, and once you start, it's hard to stop.
You guys have seen those like remodel pictures of people who have little closets that turn them into book nooks, right?
Yes.
They're so appealing, but I have nothing like that. I'm like, oh, they're so cute.
I would love to have something like that.
Yeah.
Like I've seen them where they'll put little benches in there, and you have like pillows, and then you have your shelf. Oh God.
You know, I have a closet in my office, and now you're making me think like maybe it needs to have bookshelves in it.
Yeah, I mean,
yay!
A whole office like that, and just an empty closet that I think has maybe his like snowboard in it and maybe rollerblades. But it's very deep. The shelves aren't deep, but like it's deep to go in. The house is from 1905, so there's just like these weird quirks about depth perception is like the only way I can explain it. And I was like, you should just take the door handles off, like the door off the hinge, and just make it a book space. It's like, but all I can do is go in and stand in it and turn in a circle and take off the books. And I'm like, so? I mean, we joke that we will move out of this house because we're running out of walls to put books in. Like it's real. I've been off for 2 weeks between jobs, and I finally did the downstairs, and now I just have 4 big strips of 7-foot pieces of wood across the wall with like all my books on it. I was like, oh, I'll be able to take some books from the bookshelf and put them here. Nope. Just all 200 books right on that shelf. And then it really dawns on you how, like, collecting how many books I still have to read. I'm getting better at it. Like, I think when my dad was sick, I went through the biggest book buying binge ever. And it's largely decreased since he passed. But, like, there's still about 300 books in the house I haven't read. And I'm like,
well, no, you've gone off the deep end when you start putting shelves across the windows. Because I think that's a line that once you cross, like, you're making it
we'll meet again and have like an intervention for that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no. I did like just unhaul like 25 books last month, and I just put them all in. We book bombed a bunch of little free libraries. Thankfully, like I buy 90% of my books used, which is not like the justification everyone has, but at least I'm like, okay, at least it's like $5 books, $6 books, and I get to look at them. But Dan's happy that I didn't put them in the rainbow. Like, we're not doing the booktube rainbow.
Nothing drives me crazier than that because, like, I worked at a library, right? And actually, no, it has to go by author. It's alphabetical, or else I will lose everything. And also, when you have the book series, they're not always the same color, and I know.
Which is also very bad decision making. Like, I'm an author, and I'm just gonna have different spines or different heights or different like paper text. Dan is like, and I get it. Dan reads a lot of sci-fi and fantasy, so he'll buy the hardcovers of some of Sanderson's books and then some of the paperback floppy tomes. But I look at it and I like twitch out. I'm like, no, I can't do this.
It drives me crazy.
As an author.
Okay, all right, let's hear the input.
Yeah, so I would say sometimes traditionally published authors don't have control over whether their series gets changed in mid-series, whatever.
Oh, that's so interesting.
In terms of color, like, unless it's black and then you have a standout image, I think having the same color for all three is very rare. I think mine are like coordinating colors, but they stand out so that they are different. You know, like there's a green book, there's a blue book, there's a red book, that kind of thing.
But
so that
stylistically, they're all the same.
Yeah.
I assume. No, I like the Poppy War series where they're all like white with the smoke, but the words are different colors.
And what does the spine look like? Because that's what you get when you organize them.
That's here.
See.
This is actually really like, it's so nice to get the insider look on this. Like, this is really interesting. But I agree with Kate. I would put all your books together by your last name. But versus color, like, I might not ever find volume 2.
So like the words are slightly different colors, but like aesthetically,
yeah,
you want them to match for sure.
Yes.
I'm actually a bit of a heretic on this, and I organize by loose genre and then whatever looks nice on the shelf because they're small categories. So it's like there's only 20 books or something in the little cube on the shelf. I know it's in here, so it's not hard to search. So I'll organize it so like, oh, I've got like 3 yellow books, and I'll like space them out with other books so that it looks nicer.
You have a system.
But I also have very few physical books, so that definitely helps. Like, it would have been if I had a much larger collection.
Yeah, I think we all have more than we can read.
Yeah.
I thought about, to your point, Rosie, because I read predominantly food writing, if it was just last name, it would just go on forever. But now I have clusters of like books on coffee, and then they're in alphabetical order. And then I have books on cheese. And then I also look at those lists and go, you should probably film like, that's a YouTube video or like a TikTok, which I still hate TikTok, of like 5 books about this. But that has been fun. I was like, wow, I have a lot more books about like fish. This has been the year. Last year was the year of buying a lot of books about mushrooms. This is the year of fish. Like, there's a lot of books came out about salmon and Alaskan herring and cod this year, and I because everything's going extinct. But I was like, because I just filmed Q3 anticipated releases, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot of fish books right now. Like, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that it kind of comes in waves. Like, the last year and a half or so.
That was a good pun for fish.
Oh my god, that wasn't even intentional. No, there's been a lot of like Greek retellings have been really big in the last like year again, because within the last year, I think I probably have 8 or 9 just like chilling that I've bought in the last year. So like it just, I don't know.
You mean like Ariadne?
Ariadne, and I just read Ariadne. It was okay. I'm reading Electra now, and I'm not really sure why it's called Electra, because I'm 40 pages in and Electra has yet to show her face. But
Katie, I'm gonna have to dip out.
No, that's okay.
I wanted to tell you happy birthday, and my 30s have been wonderful. They've been the best years of my life. So I hope that is the same for you. I feel like it will be. You probably have a lot of really exciting things happening, and it's just so nice to meet like-minded people. And I'm just happy to see you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday.
Bye.
Nice to see you,
Carrie. Bye.
Thank you, Carrie. No, yeah, I don't know how long we'll actually sit here and do this, but I just I like talking to people, and I figured
Absolutely.
This is like a low-key way to like do my first live stream too. There's nothing really riding on it. So
Yeah.
maybe one day I'll get fancy with my Margaret banners, but today is not that day.
Yeah.
Forever and always, that's what they'll be called now.
Like it.
But yeah.
Gosh, Rosie, I miss our book buffets. Those were fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's been a while. Have you done one since the readathon?
No. Well, Emrita was doing
Yeah.
emo and stuff, and I don't think Amy's been really on YouTube much at all for like the last year and a bit. So
no, every once in a while I'll see her in my comments, but I haven't seen anything like actually from her. So
yeah, I mean, I would love to have like a food book club or just like any kind of like. I feel this year I feel like I like nosedived off of buddy reads. I think work was just super like crazy, but now I'm like I miss everybody. Like I lurk on everyone's videos, and now I have to like proactively just be like, "Hello, I'm still here."
Oh, I'm the worst because I'll usually I have a playlist on and I'll just like have it on in the background while I'm doing other things because like where I'm at in my life right now I can't just sit and watch anything. Like I can't. So I'm like, oh God, I need to comment. But then by the time I go, it's like the video is going to the next one. I'm like, forget it.
That's why like sometimes I just drop an emoji and it's like,
yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
This one.
Maybe I should just drop like a bread emoji and like a bookmark emoji and like just be like, there you go, it's my signature from now.
Yeah. Well, because I think it was, I don't know, when we all started around 2020, yeah?
Yeah.
And it was just, life was so different then.
Yeah. Also, the algorithm in April, I stopped posting twice a week because I hit the worst like reading slump of my life. And ever since then, the algorithm like just doesn't like me anymore. My videos are down like under 100 views now per video, and I still do it. I still like reading and like watching BookTube, but it just feels like I don't know what happened. And like I hate to be the numbers person, but I just noticed even the people who commented, just like everyone vanished. And I was like, well, I probably got punished for some reason.
No, they're punishing me too because I have no consistency. None.
I'm bearing my own karma because I've just had like zero energy to watch BookTube for like months now.
That's fair.
And I still like I want to. I'm like these all sound like good videos, but for whatever reason I've just got such a like but I'm just not in the mood.
That's why it's on in the background.
Yeah, and it's just like I think when I get back from vacation I have to be like clean slate, like remove absolutely everything from my watch later, just like
oh, I gave up on my watch later. Like honestly, I maybe watch, to your point, Rosie, I think I watch BookTube one day a week now. It's usually Sundays because by then I've like recharged out of my work brain. And then I can actually absorb what I want because I want to actually like pay attention and listen to you guys. At least that's the way my brain works. But after work during the week, I'm watching like Mikey Chen go eat everything he can eat at this buffet outside of France. And I just want to look at food porn. Like, and I feel the same way. And I also don't know if it's just like the evolution of book talk too on top of it. I feel like a lot of people not left, but the video styles have changed. I would rather watch a 10 to 15 minute video. That is who I am. And now everything is short and like pew, 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 pew. I can't do that. Like it's
I came at a different point onto TikTok, and so I'm used to shorter, and now they're like 3 minutes long, and I'm like, this is too fucking long.
Yeah. Oh God,
YouTube
I'm trying.
is one thing, TikTok is another. So now that they're sort of like grazing toward each other, I'm like, no.
I know that. So we have a separation. Like I want long form YouTube, and because that is how I found BookTube, and I'm totally fine with it staying that way. But now, to your point, Margaret, we're like they're getting closer because they want to compete.
I like them for different things. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like at this point, like I don't even really want to just sit down and film anymore. Like I just want to vlog. I want to like say my thoughts on the book while I'm having them and then just put it all together. And then Like, that's what I want to do. How many are in my watch later? Oh, God, Margaret.
I just thought it'd be funny.
Okay.
Oh,
I remember like a year ago, and I can't remember which channel it was. It was someone who was like in Finland that I watched for a while. She's like, yeah, I have like 600 in my watch later list, but I'm gonna work through it. I'm gonna catch up. And I was just like, holy hell, no!
I have 251.
I think the most I've gotten to is probably like around 100, and I like wash it down or like delete or like get really fast with the can't do it, rush on, you know, that kind of thing. I've
Yeah.
got 45 right now.
They're
I think
all.
I have 15, but I recently did do I'm just deleting everything, and now I just keep adding a few things.
320.
Sharon, off the hook. Winner for today.
I have 2, but that is a clear sign from April that I stopped adding them.
Smart.
So what I do is more like, oh shoot, I'm behind on Rosie's videos. And then I just put Rosie on and I pretend Rosie and I are having a conversation. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I do that with like, I do that with a lot of people, or like, I'm just in a mood for a certain, like, sometimes I want books with Chloe because I want her like girl power, very chill. I'm gonna annotate because I don't annotate anything. It's from working in a library. You don't do that to books in my world. And sometimes I'm like, I love looking at people's setups. I love seeing what you do. I will never even pick up a pencil and put it in a book. Like I can't. So sometimes I'm just
like sticky notes.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
I tried for a
while. What do your walls look like? This is what I wonder. What do your walls look like? Do you have stuff like framed and put up, or like hammered into the wall? Because that seems like a similar aesthetic to me. Is that like if I couldn't touch the pages, I also wouldn't want the walls to be like punctured in any way.
Oh no, I took up all my walls. I actually have a couple walls in like the guest room are slanted, and I collect cute drawings of food is the best way to articulate this. Like cards, coasters, playing cards. And my mom was just here and we taped and like stickied them all onto the walls. So my walls are like collages of things. And when we bought the house, I promised I would frame pictures. So I have like pictures of my family and dad and like our wedding pictures. But there's more. I also think because I lived in apartments for so long, I was like, there's gonna be holes everywhere. I'm hanging up whatever I want.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, that's funny. One of my favorite things, it was from the Persian box, Kim, actually. It was that card with it had all the foods and it had it in English and then Persian, or English on one side and Persian on the other, or something like that. Yeah. I love that thing so much. It's not even like I translated it. I just think it's so cool.
So I bought 2 sets of the flashcards that went with that poster so that I could hang a set of the flashcards on that slanted roof part of my house. Like I looked at it and I was like, these are beautiful. Yeah. And the only one I can remember is apple, which is seed. And I don't know why that's the only fruit that sticks with me.
That's okay, because the only fruit I can remember in Spanish is apple, and it's manzana. That's the only one. Oh wait, strawberry is fresa? I got 2. I think banana is just banana, so that doesn't really count.
And orange? Naranja?
Okay, never mind. I lied. But I do Duolingo every day, so that's different.
Nice.
Biggest complaint about Duolingo is that they won't put Farsi on there. They only put Arabic on there. And I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah. I
bought Rosetta Stone and I couldn't do it.
Really?
The Rosetta Stone, if you don't get, especially in Farsi, if you don't get the inflection right, it doesn't approve you to move on. So for like a week, I was trying to say something like the boy drinks the water, and it never let me through. And there's no skip. So I paid for a year-long subscription and never got past like the second lecture.
Like Mandarin's probably like that too. Duolingo though, like sometimes you don't even finish saying it, and it's like ding and moving on, and I'm like, what? I'm not even done.
Yeah, close enough is what it's telling you.
Yeah. And then we have Rosie, who's straight up reading books in other languages.
Very slowly and with a great deal of complaining, though.
I have.
We need to do one. That would help me get through one if we did a French book together. It's been so long.
Did you start The Count of Monte Cristo? That was the last thing I saw.
We haven't started yet, but soon. I'm kind of dreading it. I think it's going to take me forever.
It takes everyone forever, right?
Yeah. I generally find classics easier in French, though, because a lot of the French I did in school was like reading literature, so I'm sort of like more familiar with that style of writing than the like French equivalent of a witty modern novel.
Right. Or the news.
Yeah.
I have not tried Mango Languages. You have that at your library though, right, Mom? You can just check it out. That might be better than like paying for something and then finding out it doesn't work, huh? But yeah, no, I am reading Berto y sus Buenos Ideas. It's a very, very little children's book, and it has a glossary in the back.
That's adorable.
But I'm trying.
I have a couple of those for Gaelic, like children's books that I got in Scotland, and I was like, someday I'll be able to read these. And it's just like you get 3 words out of a sentence, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, I'm doing okay at that level. I can do most of it. It's really funny because he's talking about like he is so very handsome. He's more handsome than Justin Bieber and more intelligent than Albert Einstein. And then he's talking about his best friend and how she's ugly. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then it's just how much he hates school. But either way, it's fun.
All right.
It's fun. Okay, yeah, so it's a database and it's free with library membership. So
nice.
We'll have to check that out at libraries and see what's up with that. But yeah, I've always wanted, French was always what I wanted to learn, but I've been in California and like Spanish just makes sense when you live in California.
Yeah.
Even though I won't be here for that much longer, but I figure if I can learn Spanish and if I know English, it's not that much of a jump if I want to learn French after that.
Do you know where you're heading? Or is it still open?
After California? Right now the plan is kind of just to head back to Michigan and like heal.
Yeah.
So, I guess I should probably. James and I are getting divorced, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. It's better for everybody, but it's not fun. Yeah, I was talking to Margaret about it last night, the night before.
Yeah,
2 nights ago? I don't know. But I was like, oh, I should probably like tell people, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things like, am I supposed to tell people? Am I not supposed to tell people? I never know how this goes. But yeah, so I'm kind of just planning. We were supposed to be moving to Virginia, but I'm just going back to Michigan, and I should probably break the news to Carrie.
Yeah. I mean,
you're going to be your neighbor.
Yeah.
So. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was like gonna stay out here with Abby, and I even like I held an apartment like across from hers just so I could be like, okay, just in case. But like, I don't know. I'm just trying not to make the decision today. Like, give myself a little bit to make sure. But like, I think my heart just wants to go home. So it just feels like. I don't know. Like, I feel like at some point everybody's like, okay, I just need to go home now.
Yep, absolutely.
The bedroom I grew up in, complete with girly wallpaper and twin beds that have not changed a mattress in 40 years.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. My heart hurts. More of my family's there, so I can get help, like getting set up, get a job, whatever. I don't have to stay. Forever. I can move on after that, but
just the comfort.
Yeah, I mean, when my dad was still alive, but at the end of his life with cancer, I mean, we bought a house in November, and then he died in the 2 days after the New Year. We still moved and moved into the house. Like I get very much understand I want to go home, and I'm not even in the same town as my mom or my siblings, but Now they're a car ride away. Like I'm so used to being the sister who gets on a plane for every holiday.
Yes.
And
That's
just it's exhausting, and I recognize I have a really good job, so it's not hard for me, but for my mom to just like last week call me and go, I'm gonna fly up and come see you, because it's a 45-minute flight. She could have driven if she wanted, but she's like, I'm gonna come see you, and she can just do that now. Like, I get it. My heart feels. I was like 4 days of my mom's energy, and I was like, oh, I feel better. I feel love.
Yeah. So that's because I'm not gonna be like living in the same town. Like I am kind of starting over. I'm gonna be living near the university that I applied to there. So, but it'll still be within like an hour or so from almost all my siblings. So,
oh, that's awesome.
Well, I say all my siblings. Abby will be in California. My brother will be more like 3 hours away. So my other sister, I'll be living near her.
It'll just be a great excuse to go visit them, right?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's what Abby was like. Look, if you want to go home, go home. She goes, you can just fly out here and we'll go to concerts or something. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I've been alternating between like I have a plan and completely melting down. So
totally normal.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. I haven't lived near my parents in, oh God, like 12 years. It feels something like that. So it would be really nice to be closer and just.
It can be a whole strange journey, readjusting and like renegotiating living with your parents.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not gonna be crazy about the weather, but
that'll be an adjustment. Yeah.
It's fine. I've only really been in California for like 4 years, so. And then before that, I was in Delaware.
Enough to get spoiled.
Well, that's for sure. I was already like looking at the apartment complexes, and one of them is, can I get covered parking? Like, I'll pay extra for it. I'm just not sure I know how to scrape a windshield anymore. And like the getting up early to go start the car and let it warm up and then go. Oh, I don't.
Then you just get a remote start, like, and from like you like lean by your bedroom window and turn it on. Like, that's probably the only good thing about going from Buffalo to Chicago back to Buffalo is that I'm just on the other side of the lake, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was living in DC, is the first time I had to scrape a windshield, and I didn't have an ice scraper, so I ended up using like a dustpan.
I commend the resourcefulness.
Yeah. I still have an ice scraper in my trunk. It just lives in there with my jumper cables.
There you go.
I guess somewhat more reasonable, but like, yeah, it's, July. We've still got one in our car because it's like, might as well leave it there. No one's ever in our back seat anyways.
I feel like if I take it out, I'm going to forget. And then I'm not going to put it back in. I'm going to need it. So.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, the back like trunk of my car is like from like the era of my father, where I have jumper cables, not only a first aid kit, but a roadside hazard first aid kit with the space cleaning kit.
I have one of those too.
I have the window smasher. I have solar powered battery chargers. Like,
what's the window smasher?
I don't know what else to explain it other than it almost looks like an X-Acto blade, and it's supposed to that one sits up in the front console between the two front seats because it can cut your seatbelt, and then it's just got a fine enough point, and it's designed specifically to shatter windows for when you're stuck. There's emergency money back there. There's emergency food. Like, I'm just like ready for the actual.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I was doomsday prepping with my dad the other day.
Well, yeah, my fear was like, if I'm ever in Buffalo in a snowstorm and I'm on the side of the road, all I remember is that book in like grade school called Snowbound, where this boy and girl have to like survive on a tin of cookies. And I just remember how formative it was for me because she rejoiced after being saved that she lost like 12 pounds while stuck in this car. And she was like very excited about this. But anyway, that was the book. And I was like, no, it's not going to be this kid.
Thank you. Nice to see
you.
You.
So none of you know this book, Snowbound?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Maybe it's regional. Sometimes school books can be like a regional hit and everyone goes through it, but
Well, don't Google Snowbound because apparently it'll come up with a 2017 erotic thriller. So that's not what I am referencing. So what?
good for them. Good for them.
Good for them. It's a book by Harry Mazer from 1973.
Oh, I feel like I know the name, but I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe they should teach the erotic thriller in high school now. Like, let's modernize this.
Oh my God, there is an erotic book for like everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys saw the COVID one somebody wrote? Like,
No, actually.
oh yeah, I think it was actually like it was an erotic novel, but like I'm pretty sure it was like the disease itself was like one of the.
Oh my God! Yes, I've heard about this. It's so weird.
Okay, this
Sorry,
is gonna be beyond even like the potato shifter romance. Like I don't know if I can get the virus that is a love interest. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think that's what it is. I don't really. It's not my jam with reading, so like I don't really know. I just saw the cover and read like the synopsis, and I was like.
Speaking of potato shifter romance, maybe that'll be my third meme. So I was talking to my mom, Rosie will like this, earlier today about all the memes that I could think of with potatoes for some reason. And I came up with potatoes, which is a Lord of the Rings reference. And then I came up with excellent boiled potatoes, which is a Jane Austen reference. And then I was like, okay, I got to think of a third one. Can you guys think of a third like potato pop culture reference that I can use?
Mr. Potato Head?
Maybe. Okay. I like potato shifter because that was a whole discussion on like Blaise Boudoir.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it struck me that there were these two really funny potato memes that I knew.
Oh my God. My brother is like the king of memes. He sends me stuff all the time. And a lot of times I'm like, that is equally terrifying and hilarious because sometimes they hit a little too close to the actual truth. And I'm like, I don't know if I can really laugh at that, but like it's funny, but maybe a little too soon. Oh my
We'll
gosh.
get both of them on the couch here.
Yeah, let's see.
Trying to get in the shot.
Hey, buddy, you want to show people your blue eyes?
Softies.
Come here.
Nope.
Come here.
Nope. There. Oh, nope. There we go.
They're my babies. The big guy's Loki, and Ari's the little bouncy one.
That's funny. That's the third Loki. So there's a what is it? Oh, okay. So July is Camp Nano, meaning it's another like big writing challenge month. And someone made a bingo card, and one of the bingo things is there's a Loki sighting on a live stream. And I've already had two, so that's a third one. Nice. Hilarious. There's so many pets named Loki.
Okay, but he's 7, so I think I like started the trend.
There you go. Own it.
I think I can say that. He was either going to be Loki or Archer. Have you ever seen the Archer, the TV show?
One of Dan's
animated one?
Yeah.
The Green Arrow one.
Well, it's animated. Yeah, because the main character Archer, he has black hair and really blue eyes. And I was between Archer and Loki, and then it went with Loki, and he. Aw, thank you. Carrie put in the group chat the link and told everybody to come say happy birthday to me for her book club group chat.
Oh, cute.
It's so cute.
She wants me to throw her ball desperately. If my mom's still watching, she's gonna love this. Every time she comes around, she tries to film Ari kicking the ball. It's like a whole thing. It's a whole thing. She wants me to get her a little red and white striped sweater because all winter long she wears sweaters. And Ari photobombs everything all the time. So she wants me to put together a photo book called like Where's Ari, but like in her little red and striped.
Like like a Waldo.
I'm with
Oh
your
my
mom
gosh.
on this. That would be amazing.
That would be cute.
I would buy this. I'd be really into it.
Because like every photo I send her, I'll send her photos like my cross stitch, or Abby occasionally will send her photos, and Ari's like always in the background somehow. Like now.
Yes, sneaky little pup.
Yeah, she's just busy. She's very busy. She's 7 years, almost 7. She'll be 7 in November, and she's a terrier though, so she got that energy. Both of them do. Oh my god. But it's okay, because I'm a dog person.
Yeah.
Oh wait, do all of you have cats? No, Rosie doesn't have cats.
We're gonna get dogs. We just haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah. Oh, you just got the house not that long ago, or a
It's
year.
like a year, but yeah.
I don't know.
Next year we're hoping to put a fence in, and then once we have a fence, get a dog.
There we go. Yeah, that's really, really important. I wish we had more of a backyard. That's why, because James is taking Loki, because he has considerably more income than I do. And he can get like a house with a backyard to rent, whereas I cannot. So Loki will have his like room to roam. He likes to be cold too. Like when it's cold, I'll find him just sitting outside, like singing the song of his people. I don't know.
I feel that. That's why everyone in Buffalo has these kinds of dogs. They're just
yeah. I've been brushing him like daily, and I swear to God, like I should just be saving it up, and I can make like rugs for everybody. Pillows, that could work too, because there's just so much of it. I just like brush him out and I leave it on the floor, and then I like suck it all up in the vacuum.
I definitely watch a YouTuber, and he's rarely on camera, or it's really just her back. She just grooms dogs, and it's like 5-minute videos, and it's like, today I have this Akita, or here's a Great Pyrenees, and you're like, oh no. And the worst dogs are actually just like little yappy dogs, or like the husky. She's like, and here's a husky. She will sing to me now the whole time on the whole video. Just and I have cats. I grew up with a dog and a cat, so like I'm definitely both teams. And I have a fenced-in yard, and I know Dan wants a dog, and we're not having kids, so like I think a dog will happen, but we've only been in the house a year, and I feel like the cats just figured out we're staying. So now they're like, oh, I'm not going to hide in a dresser drawer for an entire year. So I don't want to just bombard them with a new animal. But I do think I'm thinking maybe fostering might be a good way to like find the in between of that, because there's definitely
see if the cats will even like be okay with that.
Yeah, and my friend Frank, who was our roommate for many years and has been our mutual best friend for like over a decade. His dog, when he comes for the weekend, he brings his dog with him, and they both hate the dog. So part of me, I don't know if it's Sonia herself or dogs in general, because she's like a terrier, but is like 13, 14. She's an old lady. Yeah. But when she sees a cat, she's like, holy fucking shit, it's a cat. I want to be its best friend. And my cats are like, no. Which is funny, because when we lived here the first time in Buffalo, our first cat, Peachy, lived with this dog. And like, no, there's like no data connection. Like we deleted those old files. We don't remember this dog. But when she was a kid, like they slept together. Like that's like they were close. And I guess it's something to do with cats' memories. Like they don't hold on to that like window of brain power, I guess. But she's like, no. She's like, hell no. And I'm like,
maybe I have a cat memory then, because I've often described it as like there's a cloud that like follows behind me in life, and I just like there's like I don't know 7 to 10 years where I just start deleting things. Maybe I have a cat memory.
Oh, maybe that's funny. No, my brother, he moved in with his girlfriend like almost a year ago, and he has 2 cats. Their names are Tina and Faye. Anyway.
Oh.
He inherited Tina, and he decided to keep one of her kittens. And he didn't know what to name the kitten, so finally he settled on Faye, and I was like, that's actually really cute.
It's really cute.
But she has a dog, and he said, yeah, no, the cats have like their room, and that's where they stay, because they do not want to deal with the dog. And I was like, oh. And he's like young. He's only like a couple years old, so he's still very all dog like. Go, go, go.
My mom and I went to PetSmart for a scratching post yesterday and got distracted by the kittens that they have. I was like,
See, that's like, I
steer
love
away, steer away.
I just don't. I can't do cats. I don't like litter boxes. But I love looking at kittens. I'm always like, oh, you're so cute, but I know you're gonna grow up, and I'm not gonna like you anymore.
Same for children.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Actually, I don't think babies are cute. So.
The older children get, the easier they kind of get, because like you don't have to wipe their butts anymore. They can tell you what they want. And sometimes they tell you a little too much. But yeah, I
don't know. But if Rosie got cats, they would just be on the back porch with her all the time.
Yeah, my partner is really allergic, and I'm somewhat allergic, and honestly, I'm totally fine with that because I like other people's cats. They're like, yeah, I feel like cats are like children. I like other people's, but I don't want them in my own home.
I learned I was allergic after I'd had the cat for 4 years, so.
Oh, my dad was very allergic, so we've always been very cat aware.
Yeah.
Like I used to have to change my clothes when I came home from friends' houses if they had a cat to like not get it in the house.
Yeah.
So now my partner sometimes he's like, "Oh, maybe we could have a cat anyways. It wouldn't be so bad." I'm like, "No, I cannot live with you sniffling continuously."
Yeah,
no way, it would drive me crazy.
It's no way to live. It's fine. It all depends on your prayer.
Oh man.
Honestly, we found out that I was allergic to animals my senior year of high school. I had a cat and a dog my whole we found out that we thought I was allergic like around the 6th grade when we got the dog, but I had applied to veterinarian schools. Like I applied to 3 schools, got in, and then it dawned on me. Like this is more delayed brain. It dawned on me when you look at like the education path for a veterinarian, you go to school for 12 years, you do your clinical work on domesticated pets. So that was like senior year, the light bulb clicked that I could be in surgery on an animal and I could sneeze and kill it. And like that was it. I didn't go to vet school. I pivoted and went to film school instead. And like I don't know why I found out in the 6th grade, because I was like Chucky Finster sick. Like the home videos of me, I sound like Chucky Finster from the Rugrats. And then 6 years later, I'm getting ready to go to college, and like then the light, because I had pivoted. I'm gonna be a zoologist. I'm gonna work with large endangered species. I thought I had like found my workaround, and then they're like, no, you're gonna do like clinical work with small animals because that's what we have. And I was like, oh shit. So yeah, that life dream kind of imploded.
Yeah.
Damn.
And now I work in food, so like you tell me how I ended up here.
It's a roundabout situation, I guess. You can't never tell what life's gonna throw at you.
At this point in time, I can, however, tell that life is going to throw dinner at me quite soon, so I might go and eat that.
No, that's
Happy
okay.
birthday.
Thank you.
I hope you have so many exciting new things in your 30s. I know you have just like a phenomenal decade ahead of you, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. And just like, I hope you have a great weekend and like enjoy your birthday as well. So
thank you, and thank you for swinging by. I don't know how much longer I'll hang out either, so it's fine.
It was nice to see you, Rosie.
It's so nice to see you all, and yeah, have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Oh wow, that got weird.
I got half of Margaret's face.
I know. It's like, well.
Okay. Should I move the computer or move my set? It's gonna.
There's a settings underneath the live window that you can choose from. There's like a closer up, which you're in, and then the backup like that.
Yeah, and I realized mine looks even weirder because I couldn't. Yeah, my camera my camera on my computer didn't want to play today. It's also my laptop's weird. It's like the crease of a laptop. The camera's way down here.
What?
I'm not kidding.
It's not.
No.
It shoots from the hip.
And Dan and I have had many conversations about like the stupidity of this, and I think this is a gaming computer, so I think they wanted to give you as much as the monitor, and then I guess like you would have docked it to. It's like for people on Twitch and like all of those people. So you were supposed to dock it, and then like you would have a different camera setup. I don't know. I play Stardew Valley. I am not a Twitch person. I have a little mod where I like water my crops and like listen to audiobooks and just play the same thing. I've been playing it for however long the pandemic's been going on. You want something that's La La Land. It's Stardew Valley, where you're like, water your crop, pet your cow.
I do that. And then my brother bought me a game for Christmas several years ago. It's called Flotsam. And basically, like, the world has ended, everything's underwater, and you are a survivor, and you are on this little boat, and you have to go collect junk plastic and wood from the ocean. And then you can, like, there are little, like, islands and stuff, so every once in a while you'll see, like, an old overpass from a highway with cars on it, and you can go explore and dig all the stuff out, and you just keep building up your boat, and you make it bigger and bigger, and you get new people, and you can get, like, birds and stuff.
This is like training for the future. That's actually a useful game.
Yeah, no, and it's just so, it's, like, repetitive, and the music's just kind of calming, and it's just, I don't know. I was like, dude, this is like the best game you've ever bought me. He goes, I'm pretty sure I paid like $3 for it. You're welcome.
Like, put a lot onto it.
I was like, I play it every time I'm upset. This is what I do.
Oh,
Would you stop squeaking at me?
that's a winner.
No, it's so cute.
Yeah, well, she just landed on Loki and he just looked at her. He's so patient. Oh my gosh.
Good deal.
She doesn't deserve him. Oh, geez. Okay, let's see if I can show you this. So she hides her ball, and then she'll try to dig it out of stuff. So she'll just move that whole basket, and then she'll dump all the blankets out, and then she'll, like, roll the ball up in the blankets, and then she'll go find it.
Hey, that's self-centered play. That's very advanced.
The other thing she likes to do is not the bed I have, but the bed I used to have. There was the headboard, and there was a space between the mattress and the headboard, and she would shove her ball down there, and it would go under the bed, and she would jump off the bed, and she would slide back behind so she could actually fit under the bed, and she would go find.
Wow.
Yeah, she's cute.
Smart cookie.
Too smart. But yeah, she's that stupid smile. She kills me. Oh my god. I almost didn't. Her name. So when I got her, the lady had named her Garnishelli. I guess it's a chef on some kind of cooking show or something. And I was like,
wait, like Alex Gornishelli?
Maybe.
The female chef?
Okay, that might be what it is. And I was like, I'm not saying that every time I'm called. Are you kidding me?
No, I
don't even know how to spell that.
Yeah.
She was like, are you going to change the name? And I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Gornishelli, Gornishelli is an Italian-American chef. She's well known in like New York City and is pretty much known to be a hard ass, and then is now became one of the newer Iron Chefs from the Food Network Iron Chef. So she's a female Iron Chef. I think like Kat Cora used to be the only female Iron Chef. Then Kat Cora got married to her wife, had a bunch of babies, and then Alex became the next one. That's at least a female. But should there be more women in general? Yes, I can get on my high horse about that all day. But that's kind of, she's now a staple of the Food Network, but she's not your traditional Food Network star. She's not Giada with her perfect smile and her giant teeth. Sorry, I should give context to that comment, is that my mother cannot remember Giada's name and only calls her the woman with horse teeth. And I'm like, Mom.
Wow.
I don't want to, everyone's going to think my mother's a terrible person, but it's hilarious because now she has a very big, beautiful smile, but it's a large portion of her face.
I will never unsee that, though.
You're welcome. Gornishelli is like a Food Network staple now, but she's definitely like, I came from the restaurant world. Like, I don't know how else to explain it other than you can just tell. So if like a male contestant says something stupid, the camera just cuts to her and she has this like deadpanned, my soul is gone kind of look.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. She kind of reminds me of like, I put her in the same camp if you remember Claire Saffitz from Bon Appetit from the shows Gourmet Chef Makes. These like, I'm dead inside because I've worked in a male-dominated industry and you're all dum-dums. And I'm like,
yeah, I can vibe with that energy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. it's like now my favorite rom-com trope is like, give me the grumpy woman protagonist. Like, just, I want her to be grumpy. I want her to be unlikable because I relate, because my soul's there right now.
Yes. No, I get that. There was a book I read, A Deadly Education, actually, and the main protagonist, she's like a teenager, but like she's just that, like, she's that grumpy, and you're like, oh, you're just cranky, and then you get learning, and you're like, oh, I see why you're cranky, and like everybody hated her. Yeah, the author, that's the author, but everybody like was complaining about how unlikable the character is. I'm like, okay, well, A, she's supposed to be, and I'm like, B, that kind of grumpy is just speaking to me right now.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like the odd man out there where I was like, I don't know, I actually liked that about her.
I love it. There's like a whole new wave of foodie culinary romances that have come out in the past 2 years that are very much the boom of YouTube reality TV show tropes, which is very of the time. Like, it makes a lot of sense. It's like, it reminds you of a Top Chef or a Great British Baking Show, but all the protagonists are grumpy women who are like, fuck this industry. And I'm like, I love this. Please bring me more of this. So
nice. Did you read the Sonali Dev one where she's
I have it.
Okay, that was good.
It's on my shelf. Good. I just read Chef's Kiss by T.J. Alexander, which is the first, has a non-binary protagonist, which was new for me, which was really exciting. And that's, if you watched any of the era of Bon Appetit before the mass exodus, where you had Claire Saffitz and Brad Leone, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I recognized all the Easter eggs. And then what was the other book I just finished? For Butter or Worse, which I have been talking nonstop about on Instagram because of the box. But the two hosts, Chef Nina Leone is the grumpy female chef. She's got like her version of a Michelin star. And her co-host is this like handsome Leo, and he's a restaurateur. And like she in the public eye has this very bad reputation for being a really cruel judge. And her name is Nasty Nina. And then on air on the live finale, Leo calls her Nasty Nina, so she quits on live television, and that's the inciting incident for the whole book. And I was
nice, that's a good one.
All right.
I know, like, shamelessly, I made a box around this book, but I really enjoyed it a lot for a book. I also want a sequel about Leo's gay brother. I'm like all for that character. I was like, I want more of you. You're really funny. I love good supporting characters.
Yes. I like that. I tend to like, well, no, okay. I'm always like, I prefer this to this, but then I start thinking about it and I'm like, no, I kind of just like all things. Because I do like traditional sequels and stuff like that, but I also love companion novels where it follows other characters and you get to see what else is happening, as long as it's not like the same exact events, just from someone else's point of view.
Right.
But yeah, I just, would you stop? You are so disruptive.
I know what you mean. I think that maybe it's me. We're in an era of a lot of companions or the third book in a series, but they're not direct sequels. Like, I think of like the Brown sisters trilogy, and I like that intersecting world. That one's a little bit more, I think, closely connected because they're sisters.
Yeah.
But I also, maybe it's because I don't read fantasy. Like, I've never found a fantasy book I really enjoyed. I don't have a world of sequels like my sister, like people who read Harry Potter or the Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't have anything like that. So when I have companion books, I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah. I kind of feel like outside of like fantasy or sci-fi, like if there's not really a whole lot of world building because it's more contemporary, it does feel a little weird to have sequels. To me, anyway, I would prefer companions personally. I don't know. I guess this is the first time I've ever actually thought about it like deeply. I'll have to ponder on that one some more.
Not familiar with that terminology, a companion. I mean, companion novel sort of means something different, but not, I guess, not defined, because when I think about it, I think it just means another novel that explains some of the same things. You know?
Yeah, it's like the same like world. You have a lot of characters that you run into, but it's not like a direct sequel. You don't really have to read them in order. So At least that's how I've always used it and heard it used. I don't know. I think that's partly because, well, when I first found BookTube, like a lot of people, all I saw was people reading YA. And so that comes with like its own set of terminology and stuff too. I recently dumped like 90% of the YA on my shelves because I was like, huh, if it hadn't been hyped, I never would have picked it up.
Yeah.
And I doubt I'll ever read it again.
Yeah.
I really don't have a lot of YA left anymore. I still read foodie YA, but like the only series I still have is this one author, Sarah Dessen.
Oh
Because
my God, I love Sarah Dessen.
Those iconic covers. Speaking of covers, yeah.
Which I'm not happy with, like the newer covers that they've been working on. But
I haven't seen those.
I love the old school covers because they actually have real people. It's you don't see faces, but I like realistic covers. But those books my parents bought for me as hardcovers for gifts throughout my entire like preteen, teen, even into college. So to me, that is just a very important writer. That I thought I wanted to go to school to be a writer. Like I did an English lit program and a film program. At children, those would be like the books I'd give to my children. But that's the best.
Yeah, she's
having some glitchy issues, Kim.
Oh, sorry. Am I back now?
Yeah. No, Sarah Dessen was like one of my favorites growing up because I don't know, it was like there was a little bit of romance, but it really was like you just felt. She's
always the summer before high school. Always the summer before college. Like my favorite one is The Truth About Forever. That's like
I don't even remember that one.
Oh,
I'm sure I've read it, but
I'm scared.
I haven't read her at all because I think she's a little too late for me. I was into
absolutely.
Yeah. You probably even know me like, wow, these teenagers are really annoying. And I totally get that. They just started adapting her stuff onto Netflix. I think after the To All the Boys I Loved, blah blah, the boom. And I'm like excited and happy for her as an author. Like that's probably really awesome to get an adaptation, get that coin. But I don't think I can watch them because I'm such a different person.
Yeah. Like I don't want to be disillusioned about what I loved. Yeah.
No, I'm the same way.
Because subtlety to like some of the emotional parts and like the character growth that I don't, especially being like, I'm totally a film jerk. Like I went to school for it. So I'm also super critical of things. So I'm afraid like the little things are going to get lost because it's going to become a cookie cutter Netflix, young adult, romance, get those streams up in the first 24 hours. Like I'm a jaded, heartless person. I'm very afraid.
No. I'm like that too. Like Looking for Alaska is probably by John Green was like my favorite book. I think I was like 15 and it was the first book that I had ever like reread. And I think I read it like 4 or 5 times in a row. I own it for like, I got like a special edition cover, but I will not read it again. And I will not watch the show because it will not be the same. And I would like to just keep it how it is right now.
Fair.
I agree with that. I remember when that ending happened and that was the first time I was like, what? Like, and rereading it. Yeah. It's the same. I think, oh my gosh, who is it? Jodi Picoult. That's like a real throwback name.
Oh my gosh. My sister's keeper wrecked me.
And I was in high school and I worked at the library and I checked it out. So I read that book when I was like 15 years old.
Yes.
And then like they made the movie and like things changed and I was like, no.
That's sacred. Don't you dare.
Especially when they were like, and Cameron Diaz is going to be the mom. And I'm like you like, that's not who you build. You build your own character. And I was like, Cameron Diaz.
That and like Cameron Diaz, she was a Bad Teacher movie or something that she was in. I can't remember.
But usually,
and she tends to play like more like bad type of characters, not like the mother. And I was like, I don't know about all that.
The different way I interpret it is like, to me, when Cameron Diaz acted, she was Cameron Diaz and she wasn't a character. I had a lot of trouble with her. And actually, Tom Hanks is another person that I have a lot of trouble suspending my disbelief because to me, it's Tom Hanks, which the only time he really did it for me was actually the movie Cloud Atlas, which tanked in the box office, and I love that movie, and I don't care what anyone says. It's really long. It's way too long of a movie, but I really, really liked it. But
Did you read the book?
That's why I haven't watched it.
A long time ago. So like I would need to really sit down. I'm sure people tell me the movie's garbage compared to the book, and I can accept that fate. I watched that movie at like a very pivotal moment in my life, and it's for some reason I think that's more what it is.
Right.
And the soundtrack to it is so phenomenally good.
I love movie soundtracks. Yeah.
When I was in film school, I wanted to be the person who built playlists and soundtracks for movies. Like I got a whole audio production minor. I was very ready to pick really good songs for movies, for like the montage song and stuff like that. And then realized that was a very specific career that was very hard to get into, and I didn't end up doing it.
Yeah. No, that's something, this is like outside of whatever, but like I have a Peloton, and the Peloton instructors, yeah, I know, they're cute. That's kind of like
back of the couch for me too.
That's kind of part of what they do, is like they'll have specific moods for workouts, and then they build a playlist around that. And a lot of times, like, because you can connect your Spotify to the Peloton now, and so the song will pop up in the corner and you can like it, and it generates a playlist for you.
Nice.
And yeah, I have some weird stuff on there. Like one was, oh my gosh, is it Mexican Heritage Month or something like that? I can't remember. Latin American, what? I don't remember exactly.
I think it's called Hispanic Heritage Month.
Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, they did a whole thing for that. So I have like a whole bunch of songs that are just like Spanish, whatever. And like you can tell as you're going through the playlist, you're like, oh, okay, this is what they must have been doing this time, because it's so weird. Yeah. I have like a bizarre array of languages in my thing now. Like there was one, it was a ton of like it's like Bollywood music basically, because there was like a whole theme for a thing, and I was just jamming. I don't know. So now I listen to really weird. Well, I've always listened to weird music, but it just got even weirder. But yeah, that's the only thing that I think would be cool about being like a fitness instructor, like with Peloton, is like building your own playlists to do the whole thing. Other than that, I would not want to be
I mean, I have a distinct powerlifting playlist for competitions only, because I don't lift with music on when I'm at the gym. The way I think, very oddly specific down Kim's brain, when you're at competition, you have to hear the command, so you don't actually have headphones on. So to me, I wouldn't train with headphones on, because then I'm used to something that doesn't exist during competition. But when I'm in the back warming up before like my flight, before they call my weight class and my number, there's very specific songs I want to listen to, and they're not like even super moving or motivational. It's like I just need certain tempos and beats, and it's not like a genre. It's not like I listen to like EDM. It's like, for some reason, a song that's always on there is "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance, and I just need certain, like, I don't know if it's like this is someone like so I'm sure people have analyzed these weird things and like what makes songs hits, but like I need a sustained belting note, but I don't need it for like an emotional like Adele song. I just need to feel like outrageously upbeat or like chaotic energy of what is, I guess that was probably like the emo genre. I don't know.
There's a whole song actually that's talking about a songwriter trying to write the perfect song. It's called 3 minutes 3:30 by AJR.
I love
AJR. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It's a great song.
That's funny. Now, Kim, were you an emo kid? Because I was kind of an emo kid.
I definitely was an emo kid. Mental health was not really talked about growing up, especially in the Persian community. So looking back, I was probably a depressed child because it came up later in my life. So I definitely I wrote a lot of poetry when I was in high school. Like that was definitely a part of my life. The song from AJR, "Way Less Sad."
That is at the top of my Pandora playlist.
So that song will always mean a lot to me, because it came out only a couple months after my dad died. And that was the best articulation of what grief feels like, even now, a year after, for me, is like I am way less sad. You do hang on to sad, at least for me, you hang on to a kind of constant sadness, but it's just different. And that song, like on repeat, got me through so much. Like Buffalo, New York is not like a hot concert town. They'll go to Toronto or New York City, but like that's a band top 5 I need to see before I die, just to like high five them.
Too, by the way, it's a bop.
Oh my, I made them play it at my ballroom dance class so we could hustle to. And at first they were like, this is a weird song. And then they watched the rhythm and they were like, this is an amazing song to dance to. I was like, told you. They're like, this song's kind of a downer. I'm like, it's actually not. And the music video is really cool because they're at they're on a merry-go-round. There's at one point where the camera is in the floor as someone's walking on the merry-go-round. And this is like, if I could have been a music video director, that was one of like my top goals, was like my love of music, my love of film.
You've been through so many different careers. It's like the veterinarian, the film director, the writer, the music producer.
Like this all goes back to Katie. Like my 20s were insane. I got into school to be a vet. I worked in film and television until I was about 22. Got into a huge class action lawsuit with one of the top talent agencies in the US, got blacklisted essentially, went to school to get an MBA. I thought I was going to work in film festivals. I got all ready to go into nonprofits, and then I ended up in food where I am now. So like, I'm so glad my 20s are gone because now I'm 32 and like I had a lot of loss when I was 31, but like I wouldn't have survived that. Like I look back at my 20s and I'm like, holy crap, I didn't know what I was doing.
I do that daily. I'm like, how have I even managed to get here? Because by all rights, I should have just quit. I should have checked out right there.
Yeah. And I think that's what I like about being in my 30s is now I look at it as like not baggage, but battle scars. Like the resiliency that you realize, at least for me, the resiliency I've built up by getting through my 20s. And now a global pandemic, or it's kind of almost done, not really, whatever.
I think we're just learning to live with it at this point, is what it is.
Yeah, I like look back and I'm like, I'm really proud to be in my 30s now. I just know myself better, I think, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's something I've been noticing. That
comments here.
But yeah,
I still remember, but I'm 41, so like I'm in the very much giving zero fucks.
I'm very ready for that phase too.
Oh, I do look forward to that. But yeah, I'm finally at a point where I feel like I like myself.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Like that feels nice. Like I'm no longer trying to be what I think I should be or what other people want me to be. I'm like, I don't know, like I had like a mental breakdown the other day. And I got really, really drunk and I sat on the floor in my kitchen. I had heavy metal on and I was just like screaming and I broke some things. And then I got up and I put myself together and I went and I proceeded to get rid of everything that wasn't making me happy in my life.
Wow. Good for you.
And it was like, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
My sister thought I lost my mind. I was like actual physical things. I had like a Marie Kondo moment and I was like, we have to get this stuff out to the trash right now. She goes, what? I was like, right now. We grab a bag and she's looking at me like I'm insane. She's like, what's in it? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Let's go. Oh, it's fine. But yeah, I was like realizing like, oh, that was unhealthy. I probably shouldn't have been doing that. I realized I only bought that because I was miserable. Like it's like a whole thing.
I definitely went through things similar to that. And I think quitting this most recent job, I quit a job like 2 months, like a couple weeks ago. And it was like the coolest brand to work on. And then I realized I really was being treated like shit. And I was like, I have to stop being so apologetic and like taking on all of this unnecessary work that's not getting me promoted and not giving me a raise. And I don't have to feel like, fuck it. I don't have to feel bad that I'm leaving them in a bind. They shouldn't have treated me this way. And like, I think that only comes with like, I don't know if it's like liking yourself / respecting myself more / I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Because the next job that hired me that I start on Tuesday, they wanted me exactly who I was. They gave me everything I negotiated for, like 2 rounds of negotiation. They said yes to everything. And I was like, holy shit. Like, wait, I'm worth something? Not like, it's a little bit of external validation there, but I was like, wow, I really am worth everything I thought I was, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a power lifter and not try to keep fitting into like jeans that my body doesn't want to be. And now I'm just gonna focus on like I have a competition in 2 weeks, and my goal is just to lift a total of 900 pounds. And like to me, that is so much cooler than when I was a size 8, which is not to size shame anybody else. It's just my personal body journey. I'm like,
Right.
I think my goal now is to break 1,000 pounds by the time I'm 35. And I'm like, that's such a cooler goal than like how long I've personally had to put myself through diets and eating problems and things like that. And I'm like, wow, lifting 1,000 pounds or doing 45 minutes or an hour of cardio, which would make like I would cry. It made me cry. I ran a whole marathon. It didn't do anything for my body. Like
Yeah.
it probably made me like healthy, but like everyone was like, oh, it'll make you super skinny. That's why I ran the marathon. Like part of it was a big portion of that. And I was like, wow, that's who I was at 25, 26. Now I'm like, I hope I can break 900 at this meet in 2 weeks.
Nice.
No, I get that. I enjoy cardio, but like I will never be skinny. The only time in my life I've ever been like skinny, I wasn't eating. So like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it is. So like I do a lot of cardio. Oh, my mom's proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Good goals. Good goals.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 22 and I left school early, a semester early, to take an internship, and I had a very toxic ex, which in retrospect realizing was very toxic. I lost 50 pounds on Weight Watchers, and I was so proud of myself. I like lost half of my body size. And then I looked back and I wasn't eating things. And now, like, and again, everyone's journey is super different. So I just like caveat to anyone who like jumps in and hears this kind of stuff.
Right.
But now, like, I'm so much happier when like I help my sister move and I can just lift a couch and like move a couch. I don't know. I mean, though we were messaging on Instagram about this earlier. Your bones start to hurt, though. I've noticed my knees are starting to hurt. Partially, I'm a power lifter, so I've probably killed the lifespan of my knees by an extra 10 to 15 years. But you know, my knees hurt all the time. I think I have to get knee sleeves.
I think it started like my knees have always been kind of bad, and I ended up at sports medicine for it.
Ooh,
and
cool.
Yeah, the doctor asked me, he goes, "Did you play any sports?" And I said, "Oh, I started playing volleyball." He goes, "Well, how long, when did you do that?" And I was like, "Well, I started when I was 8. And he's like, "Yeah, because the constant like hitting my knees as they were growing, my kneecaps didn't sit where they're supposed to." And then I tore my ACL a couple of years ago, so I'm just screwed. My knees are always going to be bad, but it's okay. It's okay because I have a lot of upper body strength. Like I was moving my sister, and I think it was one of her roommates. Like
everyone was moving yesterday.
Yeah, they were carrying this like shelf together. And I literally picked it up with one arm and put it in the truck.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, just stop. And like her desk, she was like, "Oh, I was gonna help you with that." And I just had it under my arm. I'm like, "No, we're good." I was like, "It's not that heavy."
I love being that person. Yeah. My brother-in-law's like, "You sure you can like move this couch?" And just watches me push it up so it's standing, and then I carry the 3-person couch with me.
I am absolutely sure I can do this. I am very, very
Or
strong.
like when I'm in like Lowe's and I have a giant carpet rolled up on my shoulder. "Do you need help, ma'am?" I'm like, "No, I'm still nice." I'm like, "Thank you, but no, I got it." And I just walk away.
Yeah, that, and I like functional movement. That's my thing. I like that I'm very flexible. I like that I can get up and down off the floor no problem. Like I don't have an issue. Like that's a thing for me. Like yes, I guess I'm overweight, but like I can move just fine. I can move better than a lot of like skinny people I know. So,
oh, my movement to get off the ground is like a 3-step process, but I've learned how it's like a pivot and then a step with like the good foot versus the bad foot. But that's my own fault. I dropped a 50-pound weight on my foot. I didn't break it. This was back in December. I didn't break it, but I think it's fundamentally been changed. I can't explain it other than like it just feels different now. So like I've just learned how to move, but like I think the best time was like when we lived in Chicago and I could be a ballroom dancer and also be a power lifter. That was probably the coolest. My dance team loved to be like, "Look at her. She can like she can do all of these dips and things because you have the leg strength to hold yourself up.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm like, that's great, but I am like not flexible. You are asking me to, like, my coach is like this 5 foot, beautiful, but like a dancer's body, a dancer her whole life. She's coming next to me. She's like, you have to move this leg. And she'd like push my leg to see how far it would stretch. And then I would just get stuck in that spot. And she'd be like, you okay? And I'm like, I can't really move, but yeah.
That's funny. See, I'm working on learning how to do the splits right now. I'm really close. Not like the fold this way, but like the sideways. I'm so close.
Ooh, good for you. That is very, I'm just, the fact that I now go to the gym early to actually stretch is a big growth moment for Kim. I'm like, yay, let's not break it.
And let me tell you, from 9 years in the future, that is a big help in the morning. From like cracky joints in the morning to relaying advice onto you all.
Yeah.
I have to go because I have some yard work to finish up before dinner, but this has been lovely. Happy birthday, Katie. Many more. Thanks for
I might just end it here actually, because I am a little tired because I did a lot today and I have other things I need to do, and my dogs are napping, so it's making me sleepy.
Time to go take a cuddle party, birthday girl. Totally approved.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you for stopping and hanging out with me.
Of course.
Happy birthday. It was nice to see you both.
Yeah, this was fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.